Hello everyone and welcome to a new DarkOrbit series. The goal is to teach you everything you need to know about becoming a full elite. In this video, I'll be covering the skill tree located within the pilot sheet. The skill tree provides minor buffs that apply to your pilot, which then affects every ship you fly. Collectively, these buffs can significantly strengthen your abilities and improve your quality of gameplay. You can only spend up to 50 points, which is far less than the total 91 points needed to fill in every skill here to the max. So be careful with which skills you put your points into. The skill tree can be easily separated into 3 zones. The top row contains defensive bonuses and carries a blue theme throughout. The middle row contains boosts for looting, experience points, and honor, and carries a purple theme throughout it. And the bottom row is for raw offensive capabilities. It carries a red theme throughout it. All skills have various costs associated with them. The first few skills you invest into will cost credits, but as you progress and move towards the right, credit costs increase and you will need to use a special ore called Seprom. To get pilot points, you will need a lot of this item called log discs. Now, do not buy any of them as you will get plenty during your pilot career. The only time you should buy them is when you are just a few log discs away from your next pilot. Each log disc is pretty expensive, 300 iridium apiece. To get your first point, you will only need 30 of them, which you can quickly get in a few days with the help of daily missions. With each successive point, it will require more and more log discs, with the second one nearing 33, the 10th one needing 71, the 25th requiring 295, and the 50th point requiring 3,202 log discs. In total, to get all 50 points, you will need nearly 35,000 log discs, which is about 10.5 million iridium. Now that's insane, but don't worry, as these log discs will come easily down the road. There are a total of 27 skills that you can put your points into. If at any time you are unsatisfied with the skills you select, you can reset your entire skill tree at the price of 1,000 iridium. But take caution, every time you reset the skill tree, the price for the next reset doubles. Now let's dive into the skills there and whether certain ones are worth it. Starting with the defensive section, we have Ship Hull 1. You can put in up to 2 points, granting you a total bonus of 10,000 extra hit points. This can be further increased down the line with Ship Hull 2, where another 3 points grants you an additional 40,000 hit points, giving you a total of 50,000 more hit points. Next up is Engineering. This skill won't be as useful early in your pilot career, but can be helpful much later on. You have immediate access to invest all 5 points into the skill tree, and once it is maxed out, your repair bot will operate 30% faster. The third skill down this line is Shield Engineering. This is another skill where you can immediately invest 5 points into, and is a very valuable skill to have. Each point invested boosts your total shield volume, with a total boost of 25% once it is maxed. Moving on to Invasive Maneuvers, this skill reduces the chance of being hit, whether by player or NPC. This skill has 2 levels, with the first one topping off at 4% once maxed, and the second one offering an additional 8%, giving you a total of 12% evasion. And finally, there's Shield Mechanics, another skill that is available with 5 points altogether. This strengthens your shield's ability to resist damage, topping off at 12% increased resilience. Take the BO2 shield generator for example. When you get hit, your shields will absorb 80% of the incoming damage, leaving the remaining 20% to hit your hull. With this skill maxed out, your shields can absorb 92% of the damage, only allowing 8% of it to go to the hull. From this section, aim to completely max out Ship Hull 1, 2, Shield Engineering, and Shield Mechanics. Moving on to the Experience, Honor, and Looting bonuses. A large portion of the skills here are mostly unnecessary, and I view them as a waste of skill points, as the buffs provided are not big enough to make a substantial gameplay difference. Starting off, there's Tactics, offering a total boost of 12% more experience points per kill. Note that this boost only applies to kills. It will not affect Quest or Galaxy Gate rewards, which give a huge amount of experience points, hence making it useless in my opinion. The second skill is Logistics. This skill is not very useful either, as there are other ways of substantially increasing your cargo bay. The 5 points needed to max out the skill, only to get an additional 25% more cargo space, is just not worth it. The next skill is Luck, increasing the amount of iridium you can get per bonus box, topping off at 12% more iridium. At this time, the skill is not worth investing in, as the rewards dropping from bonus boxes has been significantly decreased. It used to be an excellent way of getting iridium very quickly, but it is starting to fall. Following luck is Cruelty. This skill is meant for those who are more towards the endgame. This boosts the amount of honor points you can get, totaling up to 25%. Unlike the Tactics skill, Cruelty boosts all points received, counting quests and galaxy gates. Next up is the Tractor Beam 1. Note, Tractor Beam 1 and 2 are two completely different boosts, despite sharing the same name. Level 1 boosts the amount of resources you can get from boxes dropped by NPCs, maxing out at an additional 6% more. This skill is complete garbage. Do not get it at all. If you do want to get more resources, you can cheaply get a 25% resource booster that functions the same way from the auction. Tractor Beam 2 is where things get useful. This boosts the amount of rewards you reap from Spacewall cargo and bonus boxes, maxing out at 20% more. This is very useful and can provide you a significant amount of loot in the long run, especially when you use the Pet with Savage protocols. Next up is Greed. This can be a useful skill, but it all depends on the player. Early on, it won't be as useful since you can't kill fast enough to make that 20% shine, but as you get stronger, the skill does become useful, especially when you start bidding on items such as boosters and cloaking CPUs, as they are only consumables that can get very expensive. From this section, the only useful skills to go for as a novice player is Tractor Beam 2. And finally, we have the offensive section. This is where you can boost your ability in PvP and PvE. To start it off, we have Detonation. This is a PvP focused skill and increases your mine's ability to deal damage. Once level 1 and 2 are maxed, your mines will deal 35% more damage. Next up is Explosives, another PvP oriented skill. This increases the detection radius of mines, topping off at 25%. On to Heat-Seeking Missiles, affecting both PvP and PvE. This skill increases the hit probability of your rockets. With the tech item, Precision Targeter, this skill is useless, as the tech item boosts the hit probability to 100%, guaranteeing a hit. Now with the PvP focus skill, Bounty Hunter. Once level 1 and 2 are maxed, your lasers will have their damage boosted by 12%. They may seem small, but every boost is beneficial in PvP. Next is Rocket Fusion, affecting both PvP and PvE. Once maxed, rockets deal 50% more damage and is very useful later on in the game. After that is Alien Hunter, which, as the name implies, affects only PvE gameplay. This skill boosts the amount of damage you can deal to NPCs up to 12%. And finally, we have Electro-Optics, affecting both PvP and PvE. This increases the hit probability of lasers, topping off at 25%. This is a must-have. Even though it does not directly increase your damage, it does increase your damage per second, and it will help you kill your targets faster by allowing you to land more hits. From this section, the skills I recommend maxing out are Electro-Optics, Rocket Fusion, and either Alien Hunter or Bounty Hunter. If you really want to, like me, you can try and max both, but what you want the most, you should work on first. Overall, the skill tree dramatically assists you in your space travels. One key thing to note is that certain skills are locked. If you hover over the ones you are interested in, you'll notice requirements needed to unlock them. If you're mostly interested in PvE, work towards the Alien Hunter skill. If you want to get into PvP, work towards Bounty Hunter 1 and 2. In either case, you should max out the defensive perks I mentioned above, along with Electro-Optics. As an additional bonus, certain skills, once maxed, can give you special effects that you and other players can see. Engineering, once maxed, changes the sparks from the repair bot from the orange sparks to a brilliant blue. Shield Engineering provides you with a cool bubble effect that you may have commonly noticed on other ships. And shield mechanics show little effects of the shield, slowing down the projectile or similar. None of the skills in the second row provide any visual changes, so on to the third. With Detonation 1 maxed, mines will flash red to other players, so be wary of that. Upon exploding, the screen will flash, followed by a wave effect. Heat-Seeking Missiles, with only a single point not needing to be maxed, will cause your rockets to shoot in a curved pattern, with a red light at the missile tip, and a new audio effect. And finally, Bounty Hunter. It'll make your lasers appear much bigger and thicker. That wraps up everything you need to know about the skill tree. Use these tips in your space exploration and get to full elite. If there are any topics inside DarkOrbit that you would like me to get deep into, drop a comment below. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if I helped you out. Hit the bell icon so you know the moment the next video is available. And I bid thee farewell.